Understanding the symptoms of narcissistic abuse. Are you constantly walking on eggshells, feeling unworthy, guilty, and doubting your capacity to make decisions? These are only a few of the narcissistic abuse syndrome's devastating impacts, which can make you feel trapped, helpless, and unhappy. When you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you naturally have a tendency to focus more on your spouse and the reasons behind their behavior rather than taking into account the effects their choices have on you. However, being abused by a narcissist can have negative long-term impacts on your emotional well-being, and you might develop narcissistic abuse syndrome. Learn about the characteristics of narcissism in both men and women as well as the symptoms of the narcissistic abuse syndrome. What is the syndrome of narcissistic abuse? The extreme result of abuse by a person with narcissistic personality disorder is known as narcissistic abuse syndrome, NPD. Because it is subtle and narcissists are masters of disguise, gaslighting, manipulating, and controlling their victims for their own gain, narcissistic abuse, especially when a partner is emotionally abusive, can be very difficult for the victim to recognize. You could feel distant from the emotional suffering and after effects of the abuse if you are around a narcissistic individual. Instead, you spend your time worrying about your alleged shortcomings and attempting to comprehend your abusive partner, which has a negative impact on your emotional well-being. 2. A feeling of distrust. You start to distrust people as a coping tactic, particularly if you experienced close-knit narcissistic abuse. You are persuaded by the abuser that your emotions and experiences are unreliable, and as a result, you rarely have faith in people or yourself. 3. Isolating oneself. Although abusers frequently isolate their victims, you also separate yourself because you feel guilty about having been victimized. In order to avoid feeling ashamed and being judged by their abusers, victims self-isolate rather than seeking assistance because they think no one will understand them. Because you believe no one will understand you, you become socially isolated. This gives the abuser room to entice you back in with compassion, phony apologies, or even by acting as if the abuse never occurred. 4. Loss of self-worth. You frequently begin to doubt your self-worth as a result of your abuser's verbal abuse and derogatory nicknames. In some cases of narcissistic abuse, a third party is involved. The abuser frequently compares you to the other person in an effort to diminish your value. You are constantly competing to get your abuser's approval over the other person. Narcissistic abuse victims frequently spend time in their minds listening and thinking about their abuser's voice, which reminds them of all the insults. This damages their self-esteem and can occasionally lead to self-sabotage. The abuser might even push you toward suicide if you don't seek treatment right away. 5. Sensing loneliness. You may feel alone and be more susceptible to additional emotional manipulation if there is no communication with your narcissistic partner because they won't listen to you or are giving you the silent treatment. Hoovering is the practice of your partner trying to win you back by acting sympathetic, apologizing, or acting as if nothing happened. When you don't have any support or people to talk to, you doubt your impressions of the abuse or try to excuse it, which is when hoovering works best. Even worse is when close family and friends correct you and urge you to forgive your violent relationship. 6. Freezing up. People react to trauma and abuse in different ways. Some choose to flee the situation, flight, while others choose to confront the abuser, fight. You may have a sense of helplessness and turn to the freezing response if neither of these strategies works for you or if you feel unable to employ them for some other reason. The freezing reaction frequently entails removing yourself from the abuse in an effort to lessen its severity by numbing some of the pain and misery you are going through. 7. Having decision-making issues. You lose confidence and sense of worth when you are constantly criticized and undervalued. Narcissistic abuse frequently implies that you are incapable of doing anything right and that you make poor decisions. They could blatantly call you stupid or ignorant while masking their words with deceptively endearing expressions such, "Sweetheart, you're too foolish. Without me, how would you survive?" Sadly, you begin to internalize these slights and eventually begin to believe them, leading you to doubt yourself, a tactic known as gaslighting. This strategy causes you to doubt your ability to make decisions and is so extreme that it may even make you wonder if you're crazy. 8. Conviction that you made a mistake. Narcissists struggle to accept responsibility for their harmful conduct or unfortunate deeds. Instead, they are skilled at finding a way to place all the blame on you. They are experts at dishonesty, frequently succeeding in making you feel terrible for their acts by exploding in rage, making you think your allegations must be false, causing you to apologize and acknowledge you were mistaken, insisting that they say something that you missed. 8. Feeling as though you did something wrong. A narcissist will expertly find a way to place the blame on you because they find it difficult to accept responsibility for their negative or harmful behavior. Demanding they say anything you missed. The irony of it all is that it makes you feel powerless, reliant, and appreciative that they're willing to put up with you and stick with you despite all of your mistakes, a sentiment you could hold on to long after the relationship is over. Furthermore, you could find it difficult to realize that you are not the problem each time anything goes wrong in other aspects of your life. Seek help now. Similar to domestic abuse, narcissistic abuse is traumatic and frequently leaves the victim with major health problems. Your mental health may also suffer greatly, especially if a diagnosis is delayed for too long. It can replace your enjoyable times with depressing and self-deprecating seasons. But in order to achieve happiness, you need professional assistance in overcoming the trauma. Services for counseling and therapy will aid in your recovery and help you get back on your feet.
Swear I won't forget this, why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being open, I hate being broken. I feel like an ocean filled up with emotion. Anger ain't a potion, rub it on like lotion. I can feel it soaking, reopen, the scars have awoken. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. The pain makes it real, I don't wanna feel, I just wanna kill the bad thoughts and steal a good thought and feel. I'm just lost, I feel, I'm just lost to feel. I need time to heal, I can't steer the wheel, cause this drive it kills, and it gives me chills. A nice road it feels, I slip off the peel, and crash all the steel. Will I ever heal? I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. Swear I won't forget this, why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being open, I hate being broken. I feel like an ocean filled up with emotion. Anger ain't a potion, rub it on like lotion. I can feel it soaking, reopen, the scars have awoken. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go.